Hello, and welcome to another PlanetDestiny video. Today we'll be taking a look at some of the House of Wolves exotic armor. First up are the Titan exotics. We'll start off with the Titan Helm, Eternal Warrior. The perks it has are Rain Blows, increased melee attack speed, Inverse Shadow, increased super energy gain from killing minions of the darkness, and the exclusive perk to it, Resolute, provides Unstoppable for Fist of Havoc. This is pretty similar to the current Titan Helm, Helm of Inmost Light, that'll give you all the talents except one for your Fist of Havoc. What this provides you now is the ability to double dip in the final tree of the Titan spec, and that's going to allow you to get the Unstoppable perk, obviously, and then you'll be able to choose between Juggernaut and Shoulder Charge. So in addition to being unkillable pretty much while doing your Titan Smash, you can probably spec for Shoulder Charge. This looks like it'll be a pretty fun helm, although for strikers, I think going for Helm of Inmost Light would still be a little bit better. Up next is the ACD/0 Feedback Fence. These are going to be gauntlets for the Titans. They have Special Weapon Loader, increase the reload speed of all special weapons. Rain Blows, increase melee attack speed, and the exclusive perk Wrath Conductors. Taking damage from a melee attack deals damage in an area around you. So these aren't for any one specific spec of Titans, it's kinda neutral. These are obviously going to be very useful in swarm type encounters like the first one in Crota's End. However, the flavor text, the active contact defense system, uses Warsat hull materials to store a retaliatory charge. This leads me to believe that it's not going to be something continuous, like if you continually take melee damage, you'll continuously deal damage around you. I think it'll just be one charge, and then it'll have a cooldown on it for like, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. I really can't comment on it yet, as this is just data mine stuff. These do definitely sound interesting, and I wouldn't mind trying them out on my Titan. The final exotic for the Titans is going to be the Peregrine Greaves. The first upgrade perk is going to be increased auto rifle ammo, pulse rifle ammo, scout rifle ammo, or hand cannon ammo. It's going to be one of those randomly rolled. And then we have Peregrine Strike. Shoulder Charge deals bonus damage when activated in the air. This definitely sounds very interesting for a Striker Titan, as really I love jumping around and using that Shoulder Charge ability. This definitely seems like this ability would allow you to use this in PvE more, because more damage is always pretty much useful for PvE. In PvP, of course, you already one-shot someone with Shoulder Charge, so, this will just be dealing more damage in very, very select circumstances in PvP. In PvE, this might actually be pretty useful to use. I definitely can't wait to see exactly how much damage these will increase it by. Up next are the Hunter exotics. First off, we have the Hunter Helm, Exotac Angel Hunter. The perks are Light the Blade, causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. Inverse Shadow, increase super energy gained from killing minions of the darkness. And Angel Hunter, significantly increase your weapon's accuracy for a short time after jumping. That perk right there, it definitely sounds interesting, as you know, I'm pretty much always jumping around on my Hunter. I'm curious about this last perk here, significantly increases your weapon's accuracy for a short time. That sounds interesting, but that's not something that's really visual. I'm not sure if people are really going to notice it for the most part. It's definitely going to take some playing around with to really see if that's actually going to greatly affect someone's, overall gameplay. Up next are some exotic hunter gloves, Ikeheka's Hooks. The perks are Special Weapon Loader, increase the reload speed of all special weapons. Ashes to Asset, replenish super energy when you kill an enemy with a grenade. And Touch of Venom, hitting an enemy with a melee attack while invisible deals additional damage over time. I like this perk, but it sounds exceedingly situational. Really the only time I see that being used is by a Blade Dancer that specs into doing damage with your Blink Strike will cause you to go invisible, and the follow-up melee attack would be able to take use of Touch of Venom. I don't know if it would apply to Blade Dancers in their super. Again, these will take some testing to really see how good they'll be. This perk really sounds situational, I just don't know how much it'll actually get used. Finally, we have some boots for hunters. Unremarkable Bones. The perks are Heavy Weapon Ammo, increase the amount of heavy weapon ammo you can carry, and Not Bound by Law, upgrades double jump with an additional jump. So what this sounds like is that it's going to give you the triple jump ability for your double jump, allowing you to spec into greater height or greater control. For me, I'm definitely keen on trying these out as I always use triple jump, but I really wish I could get just a little bit more height out of it. Since I'm a very movement-based player, I can definitely see myself using these at some portions in the game. I don't think they'll become like my number one exotic, but I definitely think they'll be very fun to try out, and I can't wait to really just jump around a lot more. Finally, we have some Warlock exotics. First up is a helm called the Ram. We have energy projection, increased grenade throw distance. Quintessence transfer, replenish super energy when you kill an enemy with a grenade. And the Ram arises, activating radiance from death disorients nearby enemies. This perk sounds really useful, as personally, when I die on my Sunsinger, it's usually because I'm surrounded by a ton of things, so being able to activate radiance and just disorient everything around me and then pelt them with all the grenades that I get would just be fantastic. In PvP, waiting that little extra step longer to get a bunch more people surrounding your body on a control point, pop that, they're all blind. That would be pretty cool to see happen. I definitely can't wait to get this one. This will probably be the one that I'll use on my Sunsinger. Up next are Nothing Manacles, some exotic gauntlets. They have Special Weapon Loader, increase the reload speed of all special weapons. Serpent's Tail, causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. And the Cold Equation, kills with Void Light abilities grant a shield. I believe Void Light is just referring to any void damage ability that you have as a Warlock, so your grenades, your melee attack, and your super. These gloves definitely sound interesting, as Voidwalkers need it. I think they just need a little bit of something else to maybe compete with Sunsingers in PvP. Sunsinger's ability to always have a shield when they melee something is just incredible, and I think these gloves will make Warlocks even more viable than they currently are in PvP. In PvE, this is going to be great because if you spec properly, you're pretty much always going to have your grenade up, so you can always do void damage, and you'll pretty much always be able to get a shield up with this final perk here. Finally, for Warlocks, we have an exotic chest called the Purifier Robes. It has fusion rifle ammo, increase the amount of fusion rifle ammunition you can carry. It seems to be a popular choice with exotic robes for Warlocks. Increase heavy weapon ammo, increase the amount of heavy weapon you can carry. And Burn Brighter. Enemies killed by ignite effects explode. For Sunsingers in PvE, this is just going to be incredible. You already have the ability to do a lot of AoE damage, but just causing enemies to explode from your ignite effect, that's just going to be even more control that you can get in some of these encounters. I know in the first encounter in Crota's Raid, Sunsingers are invaluable due to their solar grenades. Well, imagine all of your solar grenades igniting everything and then causing them to explode, which causes other things to, die in the process. These are going to be very good for just clearing crowds and clearing out entire areas. I can imagine in PvP, if someone dies from one of your ignite effects, you might take someone else out due to the explosion. All of the Warlock exotics seem really interesting, and I can't wait to see how the playstyles are going to change revolving around those exotics. We also have some exotic weapons to take a look at. First up is Lord of Wolves, an exotic shotgun. Its primary stats are a rate of fire of 11, a very high impact of 61, a very low range of 5, an okay stability of 31, and a reload of 22. Now this does have solar damage. It also has smart drift control, soft ballistics, and linear compensator for muzzles. Its first upgrade perk is hip fire, so it will have bonus accuracy when firing from the hip. Then we go into some of the other upgrades like lightweight. When held, it grants +2 character agility. Flared magwell, increase the reload speed of this weapon. And perfect balance, this weapon has extremely low recoil. Now its namesake perk is called the Devil's Touch. Stacking rapid hits has the chance to set your target on fire. This weapon doesn't have auto-fire like some of the other exotic shotguns, so it's really going to be reliant on you landing those consecutive shots. It does have a very low rate of fire at 11, so pump action plus this perk, you're going to have very good accuracy. Coupling this with the low range, it's going to be a little bit difficult to honestly use this weapon outside of really close ranges. The next weapon is the 347 Vesta Dynasty. It's an exotic scout rifle. Primary stats are a rate of fire of 37, an impact of 48, a range of 61, stability of 53, and a reload of 69. These are actually really well balanced stats for the most part for a scout rifle. It's looking just from stats alone to be a very solid weapon. And then for muzzle perks, we have accurized ballistics, smooth ballistics, and aggressive ballistics. What's interesting about this is that in the second column, where there would usually be, that one single solitary perk, we actually have two perks called David and Goliath. Goliath will make non-precision kills temporarily increase your armor stat for 15 seconds, and David, precision kills temporarily increase agility stat for 15 seconds. Most likely, this is going to be something along the lines of Murmur's damage type upgrades, where you can select one of these types to use for your weapon and interchange it whenever you want to. This should promote some really interesting play, and I can easily see me using both of these talents at different parts of the game. The fourth column upgrades are single point sling, switch weapons faster, move quicker while aiming, hammer forged, improved range and accuracy, and perfect balance. This weapon has extremely low recoil. Now with these current stats of the weapon, any of those could be very useful for pretty much any type of play. Personally, I really like stability, so if a weapon has perfect balance on it, I generally choose that. But I can easily see someone picking single point sling or hammer forge for whatever the situation happens to be. The final upgrade perk, instead of a unique one, is actually just the standard life support perk. Recovering from near death grants additional ammo and briefly increases reload speed. I'm a fan of this perk and the overall design of the weapon. I'm not a fan of the perk as a whole though. It's kind of really situational and doesn't really prove to be that useful when it actually happens. But in the overall theme of the weapon, I think this will work really well. This is actually the weapon I'm most interested in trying from the House of Wolves expansion. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.